Good afternoon, welcome to Gavere in Belgium as we get ready for round 11 of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup. The men's elite race about to get underway. Sun is shining, crowd is in good voice. We're looking forward to a fantastic race. Well, welcome along. We've got a huge field of riders about to take to the grid. The largest peloton in a cyclocross race I can ever remember. So we'll line them all up and we'll try and introduce as many of them as possible. It's a muddy course. Let's take a look at the standings. Lawrence Swake is the leader. He has 288 points, 23 points ahead of Michael van Turnhout. Ellie Isabit is in third place, although he will not take to the race start today. There was a little bit of a shuffle around after Val de Soleil. Isabit, unfortunately, suffering from bruising after the crash in Val de Soleil. He will not be on the start line. 7 degrees now, 13 km/h winds, and it's nice and sunny at the most part, although some of the course a little bit in the shade. Let's take a look at this Gavere course. 2,900 metres in length. Gavere, a population of 13,700 people. We've had a super prestige race here since 1983. The riders race into the first pit at 620 metres, the second pit at 2,100. And it twists and turns. There's an extra climb added on to the super prestige course that we have had the riders race on before. It's a tough course and the mud is very, very sticky. Let's hear from some of the riders who are on the grid.
Lawrence Swake, how hard is this today course?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's a little bit different than last year, but yeah, the mud is really tight. It's hard mud, so it's difficult to go through, and I think it will be a lot of running.
Without Eli Iserbiet, just for you, one man to look about, that's Michael van Turnhout in the GC of the World Cup. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
Yeah, I think it's always an advantage when we are in front of him, so I'm gonna see it like that, but the track isn't the best for me today. I think it suits Michael better, but I will do my best to defend it.
Mathieu van der Poel, how difficult, how hard is this course today in Gavere?
It's harder than usual. They made a lot of changes for the World Cup here, and I have to say it's a really demanding course. It will be an honest race. I think, yeah, there's no hiding here today.
What is the importance of the race today? Because we are 1 month before the big championships. That's the importance of this season. But you always want to win, yeah, the race against Tom Pidcock, against Wout van Aert.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, winning is always the goal, but the higher goal is obviously the World Championships next year, if I can put it this way. But I think, yeah, you always want to go and try and win. But today, yeah, I'm gonna fight again and hope to go for a win again.
During this month of December, is this one of the most important races in Gavere for you? Yeah. Did you point it out especially?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's the reason why I rode in Mol last week as well, to kind of get it racing after training camp, ready for today. So yeah, I hope today I can have strong legs.
We've heard from some of the riders then. We're about to get them on the grid. Mathieu van der Poel, his form is a little bit up and down. He's won 2 rounds of the World Cup in Holsten and Antwerp, but he was beaten the other day in Mol by Wout van Aert, who just rode away from him. And he said he had no explanation at all as to why he was so far behind. He said he hopes he's going to have better legs over Christmas, otherwise he's always going to be behind Van Aert, and that's something that Mathieu van der Poel does not want to happen. Well, is there any of you out there who remember the last time we had 91 riders on the grid? Absolutely incredible lineup. 12 rows of the grid today. 91 riders, 17 different nations represented. It's an absolute mammoth field of riders. If you make a mistake at the start, you could find your way a long, long way down. Just forming up the front row of 12. Good atmosphere here today in Gavere. Everyone's celebrated the festive period in a different way. Lars van der Haar spending it with his family. Last two riders getting called forward. Laurens Sweeck, 23 points now his lead on Van Turnhout. 40 points for a win today, 30 for second, 25 for third place. Sweeck knows that this course is to the liking of Michael van Turnhout. He loves a tough course. He won in Val di Sole, he won in Overijse, we know he's won in Namur before. It's unusual not to have Namur on the stopping point in the World Cup. We've normally gone there the week before Christmas. There's Wout van Aert, he's on the second row of the grid today. Mathieu van der Poel is on the third row of the grid. A little bit of work to be done for those two riders. We call forward the 12 rows. Van der Poel decides to have a position on the right-hand side to try and make his way up close to the barrier. Curtis White there on the second row of the grid. National champion of the USA. All the jackets being thrown now. Let's take a look at the front row of the grid. Toon van den Bos rides for the Alpecin de Koning team, still looking for a top six. This is Jens Adams, won sixth place so far this season. Alongside him, the Swiss champion, third in Val di Sole. Kevin Kuhn, is this the start of a real powerful move in cyclocross for him? Laurens Sweeck, the World Cup leader, 2 wins so far, mud tyres on for him. Next rider on the grid, Niels van der Putte, second in Val di Sole. He was ecstatic with that performance. Alongside him, Lars van der Haar, who has won here before and was the last winner in Gavere. This is Michael van Turnhout, European champion, 2 wins so far. The final member of the front row of the grid, Tom Pidcock, looking for his first win in the World Cup this season. Wout van Aert, second row of the grid, so is Thibaut Nys, so is Pim Ronhaar. Third row of the grid, Mathieu van der Poel. Fourth row of the grid, Tim Merlier, Joris Nieuwenhuis.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
We're getting ready for the start of round 11. Van der Poel looks ready. We're on red. We wait now for green. The mud beckons. Round 11. Fast start. The mud beckons for these riders. And a huge start by Lars van der Haar as always. Toon van den Bos also up there. First through the corner. fast left-hander. Van der Haar is there. Behind him is Laurens Sweeck and Tom Pidcock. Van der Bos, Van der Haar, Sweeck, Pidcock. Behind him, Niels van der Putten. And that mechanic's got to get himself out of the way. Through the archway. Tom van den Bos has gone off like lightning right now. Van der Haar on his wheel. Pidcock is ready. Pidcock spent the Christmas with family yesterday, but really focused on being right for today. Pidcock has won here before. That was back in 2020, so he knows the course. That extra little climb, though, adds a bit more spice. Tom van den Bos round that corner. Fast run up now. Everyone looks really sharp today, don't they? There's been no mulled wine for any of these riders at the front. Van den Bos, Van der Haar, Laurens Sweeck, Pidcock in that rainbow jersey, Niels van der Putten alongside. The course now a little bit wet in areas, but you've got to keep changing bikes, as we saw with Puck Peters. Make a mistake on that and you've got all sorts of problems, as Mathieu van der Poel comes flying through on the inside of Tom Pidcock. Van der Poel wants to win this one. He is not happy about being beaten by Wout van Aert. Van der Poel goes to the front. Alongside him, Laurens Sweeck. Pidcock in fourth place. Van der Haar. Cameron Mason moves up, the British champion, having a very, very good start. In fact, it's Thomas Main, the British champion. My apologies. Cameron Mason a little bit further back. Things settling down a little. Michael van Turnhout a little bit further back than we would expect, down in 10th place. Van der Poel already trying to open up the advantage. Big acceleration by Van der Poel off that drop-off, and Wout van Aert a little bit further back, down in 11th. This is a fast section now. The speed of the riders through there. Laurens Sweeck trying to bring Van der Poel back, who really is putting the pressure on. In this field then, riders who've won 12 stages of the Tour de France. Van der Poel with 1, Pidcock with 1, Tim Merlier with 1, and 9 for Wout van Aert, sitting there on the wheel of the British champion. Pidcock looks pretty steady. As he said, he rode in Mole, he rode last weekend. He said in the last round of the World Cup, he just couldn't get going. His heart rate wasn't going up. His legs just couldn't feel like they could go any faster. And as Van der Poel runs this section, Pidcock rides, Sweeck runs, Van Aert runs, and most of the rest of the field run. Pidcock's still riding this entire section. Could be the mountain bike technique. It means he'll be able to get over the top and get on the wheel of Van der Poel quite quickly. Look at that, he's ridden that entire section and no one else has been able to. And Pidcock's come straight onto the wheel of Van der Poel. Van Aert had a wonderful climb there, moves his way from 11th into 4th and now makes his way into 3rd. Well, that ride by Pidcock was exemplary. Wow, Van Aert now into 3rd, looking strong yet again. He's hunting them down. 2 leaders, Van der Poel and Pidcock. We're going to get the battle of the 3 kings today. The crowd are going absolutely crazy at the side of this track today. Van der Poel finding some lines that other riders aren't finding right now. Pidcock has said before that sometimes he just wonders what lines Van der Poel is able to take in comparison to everybody else. There's Van Aert down the descent, third place. We've got the top three that we would love to have going shoulder to shoulder. The noise is incredible. Everyone, fueled by their Christmas dinner, urging these riders on. Van der Poel, little advantage, 4 seconds on the world champion. Van Aert comes round the corner, 6 seconds behind. Van Turnhout is ominously placed in 4th place right now, and we know that as this race goes on, Van Turnhout is going to get the measure of this course and is likely to go faster and faster. We've seen it so many times. In the last round in Val di Sole on the ice, he just got quicker and quicker with every single lap that went by. An electric atmosphere in Gavere as we go into the pits. Bike for both Van der Poel and Pidcock, making no mistakes. Ducking their way underneath that flag. Oh, Van Aert had a little issue there. Almost caught the bike on one of the bikes in the pits. But it's so busy in there with 91 riders. Van der Poel, Pidcock. There's some other interesting riders in this field today. Felipe Nystrom, the Costa Rican rider. You may remember him from last season. He's back. Let's just take a look at what happened here. Van Aert comes in, swaps bikes, makes his way through, catches the handlebar of the rider in front. Mechanic was just standing there. Pidcock onto the wheel of Van der Poel. This is some tussle between these riders, isn't it? Van Turnhout, 4th place. He's at 11 seconds. Laurens Sweeck just behind. Now, Van Aert, we know, is absolutely stunning in conditions like this, where there's mud and trudge and having to find some lines, use the power. Van der Poel, he clearly does not want to let Van Aert dominate again today. He was so down after Mol a few weeks or a week or so ago. It's the traditional dark cross that riders ride around about the festive period. And Van der Poel couldn't believe the way that... Oh, and a problem there. Few riders coming to a standstill. Van der Haar makes his way through. It was Thibaut Nys who had the issue. Top 10 at the moment then. Van der Poel, Pidcock, Van Aert, Van Turnhout, Laurens Sweeck, Thibaut Nys, Toon van den Bos, Lars van der Haar, Jens Adams and Miel Verstringer. There's Van Aert. He looks pretty comfortable. Doesn't look like he's panicking or worrying in any way. End of lap number 1. 2.9 kilometres have gone. Van der Poel goes through. Once we correct that for the run-in, a 9.15 lap. Pidcock right on his wheel. Van Aert at 9 seconds. Van Turnhout goes through. The World Cup leader just behind. Needs to stay pretty close to Van Turnhout. Only 23 points now separate those two riders. Lars van der Haar in 4th place. Van der Haar, in fact, he's in 6th place. We'd anticipate him to produce a good race today. Attack of the world champion. Pidcock decides to test out Mathieu van der Poel. And a little bit of a power slide by Van der Poel into that turn. Van Aert sprinting his way out. Pidcock likes this sort of course. It reminds him of home. And now he just starts to open up the advantage. Riding away from Van der Poel. Van Aert in third. Van Turnhout in fourth. Without doubt, these are the 4 best cyclocross riders in the world right now. Laurens Sweeck, the most consistent. Ellie is a bit not here today. But these 4, we know, have been sharing the victories, sharing the titles. Van der Poel going backwards a little bit now. It's about to get some company on his long-term adversary, Wout van Aert. Into the pits as the world champion opens up the lead. Bikes for everybody. They're having to change at least every lap, if not every half lap at the moment. Mud tyres on the bikes for everybody. Around about 16, 17 bar in the tire, PSI in the tyres. Not much pressure at all as Pidcock sprints his way up that climb. Just a wall of sound greeting these riders. Pidcock is making a concerted effort now. Had his first Christmas dinner in his own house yesterday. Pidcock really is focused today. Look at the way he's going. He's finding traction. He's finding speed. Van der Poel with the shoulders urging that bike forward in the fashion that we know. And Van Aert looking pretty comfortable in third. An opening lap of 9 minutes. We normally anticipate a 60-minute race. We'll see how many laps the judges decide to give us at the end of lap number 2. But there's the daylight between Pidcock and the rest of the riders. He's been on big training camps so far with Ineos in Mallorca. Van Aert just adjusting the shorts a little bit there. It's not too cold. Riders not having to wrap up with leg warmers and everything today. Now this is this section where Pidcock is riding and no one else is. We'll see whether it works this time. See whether they all get off their bikes towards the top. And there's your answer. Pidcock decides he's going to carry on riding it. How is he finding this sort of traction? He's obviously got the right tyres, the right pressure on today. But somehow the others are running and he's riding. And it may not be the right tactic. Let's see. Because Van der Poel and Van Aert are coming back very, very quickly. And we know that Van Aert ran this section superbly last time. But Pidcock's already on the bike, already moving, already opening up the lead again. He's ridden that entire climb. There's Van der Poel in the blue. Van Aert, the Belgian champion. And still Pidcock rides. Van Turnhout looking to get himself back on terms. He's around about 7 or 8 seconds behind these two. Sweeck in a good position in 5th. There he is. He's a little bit heavier than Van Turnhout. Here comes Van der Haar around the turn. He's in 6th place. Well, thanks very much for joining us. Don't forget you can follow us at UCI_cycling. You can message me at McCrossan on any social media. If you'd like to lend us your thoughts on today's race. Who's going to win this one? We've got the battle we've been looking for. And all of them look like they've got scores to settle with themselves. Pidcock, who in Dublin didn't feel that great, finished in 3rd place. Finished in 2nd in Overijse. Had that problem in a round in between where he smashed the back wheel up and was unable to finish. Van der Poel, who's had 2 wins and then was thrashed by Wout van Aert the other day. That's the score he wants to settle. Van Aert so far, since he started racing, has looked probably the strongest of the 3. Here's the run-up. Look at the number of people at the side of this course. It's 5 or 6 deep. And Turnhout getting into his stride. Looking for 4th. Pidcock into the pits. Wants to get there first because things are so busy in there. Here's Ineos Mechanics. New clean bike with the World Championship stripes on there. Van Aert gets rid of his sunglasses. Back onto the Belgian champions painted bike. Van der Poel. Van der Poel's been spotted riding a prototype Canyon on the road over the last few weeks. Van Aert making a concerted effort to catch the world champion. All of these riders have previously won here in the Super Prestige. The first time it was ever run, 1983. These 2 riders urging each other on. We quite often get asked, how do they grid the riders in these races? Because it sometimes doesn't make any sense to those of you who are watching. Well, first of all, the first 8 riders of the UCI World Cup standings published on the round before are towards the front row of the grids. Then it's the UCI Cyclo-cross individual rankings, and then it's the unclassified riders by nations in rotation, but there's also a couple of exceptions. So the rules allow for the riders of the top 50 of the UCI mountain bike cross-country ranking and the UCI road world ranking to benefit from a position of the 3rd row of the grid. So that means that Joshua Dubois, ranked 25th in mountain biking, started in 25th place in the men's race. Tim Merlier starts in position 26th of the men's elite race. Pidcock still with clear track at the moment. 8 seconds. Van der Poel and Van Aert swapping turns at the moment, trying to bring the world champion back. We're going to have 6 laps. Coming up to the end of lap number 2, and Pidcock still leads. There he is. 2nd lap completed. The world champion is solo, hunted down by the other 2 kings. 9:24 lap by Tom Pidcock. The gap is 9 seconds. It was a 9:33 lap for Van der Poel, a 9:24 lap for Wout van Aert. So he's tracking exactly the same as Tom Pidcock in terms of lap time. Van der Poel obviously had a bit of a sticky moment on that lap and had to dial things back a little bit. Laurens Sweeck in 5th. Lars van der Haar in 6th. Van der Haar at 40 seconds. Laurens Sweeck at around about 35. Just corrected then to 38 seconds for Lars van der Haar. Here comes Thibaut Nys. He's with Toon van den Bos. Van den Bos still searching for that top 6 place. Thibaut Nys is going to cross the line, over a minute down. Crosses the line then with a 1 minute and 2 second advantage, or deficit on Tom Pidcock. Goes up to 1:05 actually by the time the clock stopped there. Top of the climb. Pidcock making his way around that turn. Hasn't looked back at all. I think he's using one section of the course where things are a little bit closer to just glance across and see what gap he's got. Back into the pits. What is the top of a really tough little climb? You have to get that right into that section. As Pidcock makes his way out, Van Aert jumps back on a second bike. And Van der Poel choosing to ride those visor lenses of his sunglasses today. They look quite sinister, don't they? 1 foot out the pedals, letting the bike slip and slide down that descent. Still, the gap is being maintained at 7 seconds. Let's just take a look then at the fastest laps. Van der Poel has the fastest lap by 0.6 of a second. 18.79 kilometres an hour. Pidcock second. Then Wout van Aert 8 seconds slower. So you get the sense that Van Aert might find some more speed at some point. Michael van Turnhout, he's the 4th fastest rider. 10 seconds slower than Van der Poel. And then Laurens Sweeck, then Lars van der Haar, Tabo Nace, Toon van den Bos, Pim Ronhaar and Jens Adams. Top 10 at the moment. The British rider Pidcock leads. Belgian rider Van Aert in second. Van der Poel from the Netherlands in third. Michael van Turnhout and Laurens Sweeck, both Belgians, in fourth and fifth. Lars van der Haar, the Dutch rider, in sixth. Tabo Nace, Toon van den Bos, Jens Adams and Gerben Kuipers make up the top 10. Outside that top 10, Cameron Mason of Great Britain in 12th. Thomas Main of Great Britain in 14th. Kevin Kuhn down in 18th place, the Swiss champion. Finished on the podium last time. Tim Merlier is down in 21st. Curtis White is the best placed American rider, down in 25th place. And to update you on a couple of other riders, Tristan Nash of Australia. It's good to see him racing. He's in 75th place at the moment. As Pidcock pedals his way up this climb again. Can he continue to open up the advantage? Looks like they're coming back to him, doesn't it? This is the point where Van Aert really does make a difference. He catches the world champion. He's right on the wheel. And he's trying to go past. The three are together, and Pidcock does not want Van Aert to go to the front. Tries to make his way through on the inside. Van Aert trying to dominate, but look at Pidcock as he accelerates again, and they're going to get rid of Van der Poel. This is an absolute battle in the mud. The three kings are at the front in Gavere. A special mention to Felipe Nystrom down in 86th place for Costa Rica. And Van der Poel now comes to the front. Pidcock onto the wheel. Van Aert now starting to suffer a little bit. There's Van der Haar just trying to keep some momentum. And Van der Poel goes clear. Pidcock got a little bit stuck that time. Van der Poel looked like he'd been dropped. And now he goes and almost loses it. You've got to get your right elbow right on that inflatable on the right-hand side. And if you don't, then this happens. Look at Van der Poel, who almost completely lost it over the bars. Whoa, how did he hold that one? Pidcock is dropping away a little bit, making a few mistakes. Van Aert trying to get some distance. Van der Poel is just riding away from them. He's hit them hard this time, hasn't he? Van der Poel onto the climb. looking strong. Van Aert comes round the corner. Pidcock sprinting his way. He's got fast feet today. Van Turenhout is still hanging, hoping, waiting. Is there an opportunity? He'll always take advantage of it. Van der Poel into the pits. And he's opening up this gap. This is looking formidable. Pidcock comes in. Van Aert just in front of him. Van der Poel has already opened up 8 seconds with this move. He's riding with real intent today, isn't he? Look at him go. The absolute class of Mathieu van der Poel is on show today. Van Aert looks a little bit more tired. Pidcock looks like he's maybe paying for that earlier effort. We'll see whether he settles down. How this race is changing. Now we're on to the climb. Pidcock still rides. Where others dare to tread, Pidcock dares to ride. Van der Poel now has decided that this climb is rideable. Over the top. He is absolutely flying now. How many times are we going to see the deck shuffle around today? And now Pidcock decides to attack Van Aert again. Well, if you've got friends who like cyclocross and they're not watching this, phone them now. Tell them this is the cross that you need to watch. So 91 riders on the start line of today's cross. Incredible number. Pidcock takes the right-hand line. Van Aert takes the left-hand line. Still trying to catch the rider in front. There's Van Turenhout. It's only at 12 seconds, but look at the speed of Mathieu van der Poel. Pidcock trying to bring him back. This course has got something for everyone today, hasn't it? End of lap number 3. The solo leader is Mathieu van der Poel. That was a 9-minute 21 lap for Van der Poel. His fastest lap of the race. And sorry, his second fastest lap of the race. Pidcock and Van Aert come through. 13 seconds down. They lost a considerable amount of time that time. Pidcock's gone 9.16, 9.24, 9.44. Van Aert's gone 9.24, 9.24, 9.36. And Van der Poel's gone 9.15 with the fastest lap of the race. 9.33, 9.21. Joe McGill, thanks very much for your message. Hello to all of you who've messaged in so far. We're getting treated to something pretty special. Drew wants to change the winning call. Was going for Wout. Don't know who you're going for now. There's Lawrence Wake. 1 minute and 2 seconds down in 5th place already. Lovely sunlight shining on the finish line. Van der Poel sprinting his way up this rise now. The sun in the eyes. Hidden from view by those visor shades. Look at the lens flare. It's so atmospheric. Mathieu van der Poel. Here's the rest of the riders in the top 10. Pidcock attacks hard out of the pits that time. Van Aert Just looks a little bit laboured at times, doesn't he? Maybe not quite firing on all cylinders today. Pidcock goes flying his way down that descent. I know that Pidcock is up for this one today. There is no doubt. There's Van Turen out. He was up for it as well. He knows that this course is good for him. Still the gap maintains, 13 seconds. This rider is looking absolutely superb. Van Aert slipping and sliding. Just rights himself through that little section. Pidcock is making a move. He's making the effort to try and get across now. Has he rested for a lap, if it's at all possible to do that on this course? But these three riders are so classy that they're able to do things on bikes that only some of us dream of doing. Pidcock has attacked so hard. Van der Poel. Sheer power on this section. Getting low, getting aero, and using it to good effect. Pidcock looks down, lets the legs have a little micro rest, takes a deep breath, little bit of recovery. Van Aert's got that pale look on his face that he sometimes has, hasn't he? When he's gone really, really deep. Oh, a little bit of a power spin of that back wheel there for Mathieu van der Poel, and Pidcock decides to put the bike on the shoulder and sprint this time. This is the section where Van Aert's strongest. Just to get the bike onto the shoulder correctly there. It's our fourth place rider. There is so much going on in this race. Let's take a look then at the top 10. Mathieu van der Poel, Tom Pidcock, Wout van Aert, Michael van Turenhout, Laurens Wake, Lars van der Haar, Thabo Nace, Jens Adams, Toon van den Bos, and the British rider Cameron Mason tussling with Gerben Kuipers for 10th place. Pidcock having a little bit of a problem on this section. Just couldn't find any pace. The World Cup leader in 5th. Pidcock fights his way up this section. He's 10 seconds behind now. Van der Poel is doing exactly what the world champion is doing. Riding the same sections now. The shoulders, using the biceps, using all the ability he's got, sitting back in the saddle, using sheer power to force this bike forward. Mathieu van der Poel's giving us an incredible display today. Another tricky section, gets it right that time. Didn't make the same mistake as last time. Pidcock is throwing everything at this now. Van Aert, a little bit more steady down there. And now the world champion sees Van der Poel just in front of him. This is the attack to try and get across. 6 seconds. 12 to Van Aert. 34 to the European champion. Pidcock now trying to close up. 6 seconds, he's got it too. And he's almost on the wheel now of Van der Poel as they reach the pits again. They take the bike. Van der Poel gets another canyon machine. Look at the way that they're having to lean their shoulders now on that inflatable on the right-hand side. The three kings are almost evenly spaced around that little section. Van der Poel, right foot out, trying to find a little bit more traction. Pidcock takes that close right-hand turn. Van Aert takes a wholly different line around there. He finds a different section that no one else is prepared to take. Just watch the way he goes far left on that turn. Van der Poel isn't looking around. Pidcock, look at the shoulders, look at the work rate of all these riders. And listen to the crowd. We still don't know who's going to win this one. I think this is the best cyclocross race we've had in the World Cup this season. I don't know. What about you? What do you think? Because Van Aert's fighting his way back on again. It's absolutely intriguing. 4 seconds now. Van Aert knows, stay there, stay on the wheel of the world champion. And things are going to come back together potentially. Love this little camera, it's right in on the course. You get a feeling of being so close to the action. Lap 4 of 6. And it's still a battle of power and wits. Van Aert finds the leaves on the left-hand side, the same line that Sven Nys said to take. Thanks for all the messages to Beth Harrelson. Hello to you. Thank you very much. Asking why the American riders wear the American kits. It's because they're the American champions. Curtis White in the Stars and Stripes. Clara Honsinger was in the Stars and Stripes in the previous race. So if you'd like to give us your predictions, at @McCrossan in social media. And don't forget to follow at UCI_cycling. We're at the end of lap 4. The end of lap 4 of 6. The three kings are in the home straight. 38 minutes of racing gone. And they are knocking pieces out of each other to try and win this one. A 9:41 lap for Van der Poel, a 9:31 lap for Tom Pidcock, a 9:33 lap for Wout van Aert. All these three riders have won stages of the Tour de France. As Van Aert just does the shoes up a little bit, getting himself ready for the next assault. 2 laps of racing to go. Five seconds now. Van Turner having the same problem. I don't know if he's broken a shoe, but he was trying to get that boa connector done up. Van der Poel slides it round that turn, goes right to the poles. There's Van Aert. Shouldering the bike, sprinting uphill now. This hill looks easy on the camera. It's really not. It's gut-wrenching. And now Pidcock is almost on the wheel. Van der Poel slipping and sliding. The back wheel going left and right as he kicks it underneath him. 1:31 to the World Cup leader, who drops down into 6th place. And as they reach the pits, the world champion has made contact. 2 leaders, Van der Poel and Pidcock. And Pidcock goes immediately to the front. He does not want Van Aert to get back on. He's going to try and open up a lead. The fastest lap for these riders so far. Lap number 1, Van der Poel. Lap number 1, Pidcock. Lap 2 for Van Aert. Pidcock trying to use his running speed to good effect as Van Aert reaches the top of the climb. They're already on the descent. Let's take a look at the top 10 riders then. Van der Poel, Pidcock, Van Aert, Van Turnhout, Lars van der Haar, Lawrence Wake, Gerben Kuipers has moved up into 7th. Cameron Mason, the other British rider, one of the other British riders in 8th. Thibaut Nace riding well in 9th. Toon van den Bos in 10th place. Can Van Aert get there? Pidcock out the saddle. A little bit of a jump over that little section. Attacks hard onto this harder surface. Van Aert tries to get on there too, but look at the speed of the two leaders. Pidcock low over that Pinarello cyclocross bike. Look at Van Aert hunting them down. He's such a fast time trialist. Van Aert is almost there. Sits up, takes in a deep breath, lets the legs recover a little bit. He's almost on the back wheel. 4 seconds now the lead. Pidcock goes to the left-hand side of the track. Van der Poel goes right, then dives across and gets onto the wheel of the world champion. And now Van der Poel's going to hit him hard. They are fighting for lines every single turn. If Van Aert wins this one, he will be lying on the ground, I'm sure, because I think he's absolutely on his limit. No one is prepared to give a millimetre to each other. I think Michael van Turnhout has got shoe problems. Does that left shoe up yet again. Van der Poel does not want to let Tom Pidcock have any little bit of an advantage on any part of this course. Now Van Aert catches the world champion. Van der Poel hits them hard again. Van Aert goes forward. Pidcock doesn't like this little bit of the course. Needs to really dig in now because Van der Poel is trying to get rid of all two of them behind him. There they are, spread out on this hill. It's almost like Van der Poel took a little bit of a rest. And now they've got back to him. He's doing exactly what Shireen van Anrooy did. Putting the pressure on yet again. Now he opens up the lead. 3 seconds for Mathieu van der Poel. Look at the way that Van der Poel is almost using it like a bouncy castle. The right shoulder is on the inflatable. Fast downhill. Slippery mud onto the climb. While Pidcock reaches the bottom, Van der Poel is already on the bike. Van Aert just 3 seconds behind. Pidcock losing a little bit of distance now. He did all the work and just can't stay there. There is the world champion. It's a battle royal, isn't it? What a race. Van der Poel is trying to teach Van Aert a lesson. Beat me during the week and I'll come back and I'll absolutely smash you on the next race. He was so down after being beaten by Van Aert the other day when he just rode away. And Joshua, thank you also for updating that if they're not national champions of the USA, from that question, they're also riding in USA kits because they're a part of USA Cycling's Mud Fund, which of course is an incredible fund which is really helping these riders. Also Adam Meyerson, thanks for the update on that as well, and Bill Schlecken too. Van der Poel, 7 seconds. He's gone back to the gap that he had 2 laps ago. Where is the world champion? Because it looks like he's going through one of those moments of suffering. Van der Poel finding real speed up this climb. I don't remember a cross like this, with 91 riders on the start line and the 3 top riders fighting and dueling for position, and a crowd that is absolutely wild today. Van der Poel has not even looked at anyone today, hardly. He's been just in his zone, just in position, just totally focused on his own race. Here's Pidcock. He did so much work to come back. He looked like he was then going to go forward, get rid of Van der Poel, get rid of Van Aert. The gap's now 7 seconds and 11 seconds. I think it's starting to grow a little bit more now. Pidcock comes round the turn. Those legs are really starting to hurt, aren't they? Up this next rise, not long to the end of this lap. And now Van der Poel is just picking up rider after rider and lapping the fields. Look at Van Aert. That's the story of a rider at the very, very top of his effort. The end of lap number 5. The 3 kings are at the front. Who's going to take gold? Who's going to take frankincense? Who's going to take myrrh? 9:29 lap by Mathieu van der Poel. Van Aert comes through. 12 seconds is the deficit. A 9:35 lap. Pidcock goes through as well. He's trying to find a bit more speed. And a lap that time of Pidcock's 9:49. That's where the gap has been lost. Van der Poel settles in. Looking for his 3rd win in the World Cup this season. Does what he always does around that turn. Kicks the back wheel out a little bit. Thanks for all the messages today. Thanks for all your predictions. Very much appreciated for you staying in touch with us during this festive period and getting involved in all this action, because this is so good today. Laurens Sweeck, the World Cup leader, down in 6th place now. It's going to hurt him a little bit because Michael van Turnhout is a couple of places ahead. Van der Poel. There's Pidcock, still in 3rd place. 12 seconds now behind Van Aert. Van der Poel onto the bike again. It has been one of the most momentous rounds of this World Cup. Van Aert, 2nd place. As he goes out of the pits, Pidcock comes into the pits, drops the bike, just wants to get on with it. Is there going to be one more twist? Or is Mathieu van der Poel going to ride to victory? Downhill section now. Van Aert, 2nd place. Van der Poel using those shoulders, using that strength for such good effect. And check across. Van Aert's making a little bit of a push. 11 seconds now. He's taken back one. Pidcock's lost another few in third place. Van der Poel just has that section nailed, doesn't he? Now he gets onto the road section. Finding plenty of speed. Just to update you on the top 10 riders then. Van der Poel, Van Aert, Pidcock, Van Turnhout, Van der Haar, Sweeck, Kuipers, Nice, Mason and Van den Bos. That's our top 10 riders today. How often do you see Wout van Aert like this, mouth wide open, pale, under the extremities of the effort that he's had to put in today? Van der Poel now onto the climb. Gets off and runs pretty early. Got the zip done down on the front because he's under so much extreme pressure now. The gap is 10 seconds. Van Aert's brought it back one more second. Pidcock's at 25 now. He's due to come round the corner. There he is. Very, very close to the post on the left-hand side. Up the climb, and Van Aert's closing in. Van der Poel gets back on the bike nice and quickly. But Van Aert's giving this one more push. Can he get there? It's now 9 seconds. He's refusing to give in. He destroyed Mathieu van der Poel the other day in Mol. Van der Poel couldn't take it. Today, he's answered back, but Van Aert wants to make sure that morale stays on his side. 9 seconds. Pidcock finding this section really tough. Finds a bit more traction. He always doesn't like the bit about 20 metres back from that shot we just saw. Then he gets momentum. Van der Poel has looked like he is in his own video game today. It's a show of absolute class. Almost has a problem down there. Van Aert just trying to get safely through there. Van der Poel back on the bike. There's Pidcock. Van Aert still refusing to give in, but the gap has just opened up again. Van der Poel is making a push. And it could be that Van Aert has thought this isn't going to happen, and so he's ratcheting back a little bit. The danger, of course, is Pidcock just behind. This is a very tired Wout van Aert. Last bike change for Mathieu van der Poel. As he goes out of the pits, Van Aert reaches the pits. Just manages to get some momentum forward because his bikes are right at the end. Van der Poel settles down, takes a big deep breath. He's getting set for what is going to be his third win in the World Cup this season. Pidcock reaches the pits. They have given us the most incredible race today. Up to the top of the climb. The crowd on this trackside have been treated to something pretty special, and all of us at home have done too. I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been absolutely superb racing. Pidcock has tried everything today. Van Aert has always been there, in the top 3, there or thereabouts. But Van der Poel has proven to be the strongest. Pidcock up this tough little rise. There's Michael van Turnhout. Well, he hung around. He's in 4th place. He's at 1 minute 41 seconds. He'll score a few more points in terms of the World Cup. Laurens Wake will have to start to worry about Michael van Turnhout now. But this rider is heading, as we turn back to Wout van Aert, to what is going to be a famous win. Van Aert through the mud, heading towards the end of this race. Van der Poel, 56, nearly 57 minutes of absolute pain. But he's getting ready now to take the win. As he turns the corner in round 11 of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup. Today, the 3 kings came to visit, but only one showed the class and the power to take the throne. Mathieu van der Poel wins round 11 of the UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup. An absolute defiant and focused performance by Mathieu van der Poel today. Wout van Aert, he knows he's been in some bike race today. 2nd place for the Belgian champion. Round the corner, also made a lot of the running today. The 3rd king comes to visit. Tom Pidcock, 3rd place for him. The world champion crosses the line at 54 seconds. It's going to be interesting to hear the interviews after this one, because that was something very, very special. Family Christmas time, that's the important thing, isn't it? There we go, put that one. 4th place for the rider who is lying 2nd overall in the World Cup. Michael van Turnhout started the day 265 points, 23 points behind Laurens Wake. He'll close the gap. Here comes Lars van der Haar. He started today 4th in the World Cup. And we wait to see where Laurens Wake will finish. I think it's only going to be a couple of points that's going to be the difference today. So Swake will be safely still in that red and white jersey. High fives for the World Cup leader. Another consistent performance by Laurens Wake. He finishes in the top 6 again, and winning the World Cup is all about consistency. Just behind Lawrence Wake, this is Thibaut Naes. His father, of course, has won here on this course, or a similar course, on many occasions. Toon van den Bos just behind him. It's going to be 7th place for Thibaut Naes today. Lawrence Wake at 2 minutes 55 seconds behind Mathieu van der Poel. Thibaut Naes just checking that back tyre and checking where everybody else is. Crosses the line, 7th place, 3 minutes 50 down. Then it's Toon van den Bos still searching for that 6th place. Another strong performance by Cameron Mason, who finishes in 9th. And then in 10th place, Gerben Kuipers. Good performance by him in 10th place. Next rider comes round the corner. This is Emil Verstringer. Incredible the time gaps between these riders today. Over an hour, and riders finishing 5 minutes down in the top 11 places. Jens Adams, he crosses the line in 12th. He was previously in the top 6 in the World Cup. He's kind of dropping away a little. Niels van der Putte, not a good day for him. Van der Putte was 2nd last time out. David Manu in the white jersey. Just behind him, Jentu Michels. Ronnie van Kessel comes around the corner. 16th place for him today. Just coming round the turn behind him is Joris Nieuwenhuis. Good day for him today, down in 17th place. Pim Ronhard just behind him also. 17th for Nieuwenhuis, 18th place for Ronhard. Next rider to finish, David Haverings, and just behind, Thomas May. Top 20 for the British champion today. But in a race of power and mud, there was only one winner. Mathieu van der Poel. Absolute focus today to win. 2nd place to Wout van Aert. Third place to the world champion Tom Pidcock. We're going to hear from Mathieu van der Poel. We'll also have the podium presentation and the highlights of today's race. Big crowd have enjoyed a superb race. Let's hear now from, I think, Mathieu van der Poel about today's race. Here he is.
Mathieu van der Poel, congratulations. This was, like we say, a prestige duel.
I don't know, I just really wanted to win. Like I said, I was not really satisfied. But yeah, I was determined to to do a Good result today.
What made the decision in this race, according to you?
I think a lot of factors. I think this is like I said, a really honest course. It's really hard, but also technical. And I think, for me, at least it was a really nice race. I enjoyed it. Lots of people, and I'm happy with my victory.
Mathieu van der Poel, reflecting back on that race in Mole the other day, was not happy afterwards, and that has absolutely driven him, maybe a bit angry, to win today's race. You could just see it in him. Let's take a look at the results of round 11. Mathieu van der Poel wins by 27 seconds from Wout van Aert. Tom Pidcock in third place. Michael van Turnhout takes a few points back from Laurens Sweeck. The World Cup leader finishes in sixth place. There's the rest of the top 10. Let's take a look then at the highlights of today's race. A huge field of riders, 12 rows on the grid, 91 riders of 17 nations taking the start of round 11. Right from the off, Mathieu van der Poel set out his stall and tried to put the hurt on everybody else. The world champion Pidcock able to go with him. Wout van Aert always during the race in the top three. A muddy course today. The world champion Pidcock tried his hand, putting Mathieu van der Poel under a little bit of pressure. But the fans today got the race that everybody wanted. The three kings at the front, tussling for the win. Pidcock, Van Aert, Van der Poel. Van der Poel really took some risks on the course today. At times he was on the absolute limit, using this descent to good effect. But Van der Poel really started to put the pressure on midway through the race. Again, Pidcock responded. Pidcock really used his power and speed to come back across to the world champion. Van Aert was always hanging on, not looking quite as fresh as he has done. But once Pidcock and Van Aert made it back to the front, Van der Poel was having absolutely none of it. He attacked them again and went clear. Real fire in the former world champion today. Through sticky mud and difficult contours, Van der Poel continued to open up his lead. The throne of the three kings in round 11 goes to Mathieu van der Poel. Second place to Wout van Aert. And third place to the world champion, another podium finish in this World Cup. Pidcock in third place. Well, we wait to hear from some of the other riders and, of course, bring you the podium presentation today. That will happen in just a few moments' time. The next rounds of the World Cup coming up, Zonhoven, Benidorm and Besançon, they're all in January. Let's hear now from Wout van Aert and his thoughts on today's race.
Wout van Aert, how did you experience this race today? In the first part of the race, Tom Pidcock took the lead with a couple of seconds, and then afterwards, what happened?
Yeah, actually for me, I never felt like being in the mix for victory today. From the start I was actually chasing and never was in the rhythm that I want to have. So yeah, I must be happy today with second place was the highest possible for me.
Yeah. So no disappointment?
No, I mean it was still a really nice day out. So much crowd, and it was really like a world championship atmosphere, I would say. So even though the legs were not really responding from the beginning, I still fought because of the fans, and yeah, it was a really nice cross race.
Van Aert really responds to the crowd, doesn't he? He just looked like he was lacking a little something today. He just didn't look like he was right on his game. When you see Van Aert go pale like that, sometimes you just know he's right on his limit, and I think he was today. But he finishes in second place on this muddy course. We'll see how the rest of these races play out to the end of the season. The important thing for Laurens Sweeck is he still has his advantage intact. Got 3 more rounds to worry about. If he can stay healthy, stay fresh, stay injury-free, and he's heading towards his first ever World Cup win. Waiting now for the podium presentation here in Gavere. It's always nice to have a festive cyclocross, isn't it? Quite often that's been in Zolder. This time is in a different location, but it gave us something a little bit special. Almost ready for this podium presentation. Hopefully we'll hear from Tom Pidcock as well, his thoughts on today's race. And we are going to hear from Tom Pidcock. Let's hear from him now, his thoughts on his third place.
Tom Pidcock, may I say congratulations or a little bit disappointment?
Yeah, maybe a little bit disappointed, but
Because you controlled the first half of the race, lead of 10 seconds, and what happened afterwards?
not sure. It was a very heavy race. The last few laps, I definitely felt it, especially in the running sections, and then I was really struggling to clip back in afterwards, and yeah, just not strong enough really.
Wout van Aert just told me I never had the feeling to be able to win today. Did you against Mathieu?
I think at one point when I caught him, yeah, but then yeah, I just like I said on the running section, my bike was getting heavier and heavier every lap. It felt like I was carrying I don't know, car on my shoulder. I wish my bike had an engine in like a car, but it was yeah, just in the last few laps my legs fell off a bit.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Tom Pidcock felt like he had a car on his shoulder. He was up for today. A huge race between those three today. Let's take a look at the standings in the World Cup after 11 rounds. Laurens Sweeck with 308 points now, 287. Michael van Turnhout, then Ellie Isabit on 249. It looks like if things continue the way they are, then the battle is between Sweeck and van Turnhout for the World Cup title and could go all the way to the final race. We're ready for the podium presentation of round 11.
Dames en heren, officiële huldigingsplechtigheid na afloop van de vandaag verleden Marathon in het kader van de UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup hier in Gavere.
Here's our podium of round 11. It really does look like he woke up this morning with real anger and poise to try and win today's race, doesn't he? He's been driven by that memory of Mole the other day, and he has shown the other two, I am the strongest. Tom Pidcock in third place. Well, Van Aert a little bit cold on the podium. He's enjoyed today though. He's enjoyed the fans and the atmosphere. Listen to the reception of Wout van Aert.
Schitterende tweede plaats voor de man die tot het bittere eind gestreden heeft om te proberen deze wedstrijd te winnen. Hij moet de onderste inlaten aan de man die daar uiteindelijk is ingelukt. Hij rijdt voor Alpes in de Keuring. The winner of the race today, World Riders riding for Alpes in de Keuring. Gavere, mag ik uw overwinningsapplaus voor?
Let's hear the reception for him. Mathieu van der Poel wins.
Die gefeliciteerd wordt na zijn behaalde overwinning. Heeft daar heel hard voor gestreden op een losbaar parcours. En we gaan de mannen uiteraard ook al even laten liepen van een glaasje praten op die begroet. Namens vrouwen uit de Brabanden, onder meer de heer Ronde Hiempe en ook de heer Stijn Vermoeren met een iets groter
traditional little beer.
Laten schrijven mannen, cheers guys, grote heren, zeg linken.
Cheers to these guys.
Hier terug door het kasteel Gringe, hier op deze losbare omloop in Gavere.
There's our podium.
Verstaan op elkaar. Laten schrijven dan.
I think Pidcock said down in one.
Dames en heren, mag ik u aandacht vragen om samen met ons te gaan luisteren naar het Nederlandse volkslied, ladies and gentlemen.
And now the national anthem of the Netherlands.
The national anthem of the Netherlands.
It was the battle royal we've been waiting for all season. Van der Poel, Van Aert and Pidcock on the podium. That was something pretty special.
We gaan zo meteen ook nog een leiderstrui uitreiken aan de man die na vandaag nog altijd bovenaan trekt in het tussenklassement van de UCI Cyclo-cross World Cup.
Laurens Sweeck will get the red and white jersey as the leader of this World Cup. There he is. So he's going to carry that on to the next round, which will be in Zonhoven.
De burgemeester gaat het uitreiken, Vinnie Dierik en ook mevrouw de Mol staat klaar om bloemen uit te reiken. Dames en heren.
Signatures to put on some of the jerseys. He carries his lead into round 12.
Burgemeester Vinnie Dierik, zij reiken de felicitaties
He's getting closer to the title now, isn't he? Just consistency is key. He's got to keep getting those top 6 places. Lawrence Wake, the red and white jersey.
Straks gaat even feesten. Steve Pierce. Alles voor een keertje. Guido Vanstadder. Blijf rustig in de bel.
That's our final cross of 2022. Wish you all the very best for the festive season. Thanks very much for joining us for the Three Kings battle won by Mathieu van der Poel. We'll see you in the new year. Bye for now.
Morgen wordt de cross in Heusden zonder. Overmorgen in Wiegen. Misschien tot dan. Dank u wel. Bedankt. Tot ziens. Bye.